Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Coder Web Training. Today we continue with our training series on ICD-11, an important milestone in how we classify and report health and disease worldwide. Today we discuss ICD-11 tooling environment with a special focus on ICD-11 browser. ICD-11 represents a modern evidence-based framework designed to capture more nuanced clinical concepts, support better patient care, improve public health surveillance, and enable richer data for research and policy decisions. It reflects advances in medicine, digital health, and international collaboration while remaining rooted in the familiar structure of ICD that you are relied on for years. Over the course of this session and the series to come, we will dive deeper into other features, resources, and tools of ICD-11. Coder Web Training is a foundational introductory resource to help you become familiar with ICD-11 concepts and terminology. It is not a substitute for a comprehensive formal ICD-11 training program. For full proficiency and certification, please pursue an in-depth in-person or formally structured course delivered by recognized ICD-11 training providers. While we introduce ICD-11, ICD-10 remains in active use for many programs during the transition. To support you fully, our CW2 program will continue to cover ICD-10 topics in upcoming sessions, ensuring you stay proficient across both coding systems. Thank you for joining this important journey. Together we will unlock the power of ICD-11 to improve mortality reporting, support better patient outcomes, and strengthen health data worldwide. Let's begin with a high-level tour of what's new, what stays familiar, and how this transition will unfold in your daily coding practice. My name is Saman Gamage, and I am a medical doctor with a specialization in public health. I currently serve as a Senior Technical Advisor on Medical Certification and ICD within the Bloomberg Data for Health initiative of the CDC Foundation, and I will be your guide through this presentation along with Patricia Wood and Yusuf Hemad. The content of my presentation was reviewed by the two coding experts, Patricia Wood and Yusuf Hemad. Here is the expected learning outcome of this session. By the end of the session, students will be able to use the ICD-11 browser to view and navigate the content. This is today's lesson plan. I will start with ICD-11 tools, ICD-11 browser, and I will discuss about ICD-11 browser features and then about other available tools. Our ICD-11 training series will focus on the tools that end users interact with directly. These include browser, the primary way to explore and access ICD-11 content, search for diagnosis and review coding guidance, coding tool, a practical desk-side companion that helps you apply ICD-11 codes accurately in daily workflows, ICD Fit, a user-friendly resource to check alignment, fit and applicability of codes to specific clinical scenarios, ICD e-learning tool, an engaging self-paced learning platform to build proficiency and confidence with ICD-11 concepts and coding. While there are additional tools designed for development, maintenance, and for programmatic access, our series will concentrate on the end-user experience. We will cover how to effectively use the browser and the coding tool to streamline your coding work, improve accuracy, and enhance your understanding of ICD-11. This is the ICD-11 homepage. The ICD-11 homepage represents a clean, modern dashboard that serves as the entry point to the full taxonomy, search and tooling ecosystem for ICD-11. At a glance, you will notice the primary navigation tools. A prominent search bar for fast concept lookup, enabling quick discovery of items and codes. On the left, the navigation panel provides quick access to core sections, including the ICD-11 browser and the coding tool, the API, ICD API, and the ICD-11 implementation and transition guide. This layout supports seamless exploration without leaving the home view. Under the Learn More tab, you will find resources such as the ICD homepage, the ICD-11 reference guide, a fact sheet, licensing information, training materials, and a short introductory video about ICD-11. There is also a convenient link to the ICD-10 browser for reference. The Be Involved tab provides access to the ICD-11 maintenance platform, which we will discuss in more detail later. The fourth tab connects you to other classifications, including the International Classification of Functioning Disability and Health, ICF, illustrating how ICD-11 interplays with related standards. Together, these elements create a comprehensive starting point for learning, exploring, and implementing ICD-11 with quick access to guidance, updates, and related resources. ICD-11 tooling infrastructure. In the ICD-11 tooling infrastructure, there are implementation tools that support adoption and day-to-day use of ICD-11 in coding, reporting, and data management. Software integration tools to enable ICD-11 to work smoothly with existing health information systems through APIs, mappings, and interoperability features. Training and capacity building tools to build knowledge and practical skills across the workforce with modules, exercises, and assessments. Maintenance tools ensuring ongoing accuracy, updates, monitoring, and support after deployment. Let's discuss about tools for implementation. There are ICD-11 core tools, ICD-11 coding tool, which is multilingual and currently available in 15 languages. ICD-11 browser, which is a topic today, again multilingual tool and available in 15 languages. Then mapping tables to map ICD-10 codes to ICD-11 and ICD-11 codes to ICD-10. There are other tools for implementation purposes. For morbidity, there is WHO morbidity reporting form, digital and paper-based. Automated coding, batch processing of coded term sets with ICD-11 index. ICD-11 and ICHI-based international DRG system. ICHI means International Classification of Health Interventions. DRG stands for Diagnosis Related Groups. Then Functioning Assessment with WHO Disability Assessment Schedule version 2. There are mortality tools. WHO Cause of Death Form, Medical Certificate of Cause of Death, digital and paper-based. Then Guide for Medical Examination of the Dead Body and Certification. DORIS engine for automated selection of underlying cause of death. We will talk about DORIS later on. Special tabulation lists for reporting. ANACOD 3 and code edit for quality assurance purposes. Then WHO verbal autopsy questionnaire. For implementation purposes, there is implementation guidance and monitoring tools, implementation and transition guide developed by WHO, which is a generic guide for the countries, and WHO FIC implementation tracker. There are also tools for software integration. ICD-11 APIs with language-specific layer guide us to integrate new release versions of ICD APIs. Embedded classification tool ECT, allowing integration of a complete ICD-11 coding tool or ICD-11 browser into any web application. The embedded classification tool is written in JavaScript for the complete compatibility with any web application. This is the structure of the ECT, Embedded Classification Tool Library. For training and capacity building, there are tools for training and capacity building. Most importantly, ICD FIT platform. ICD FIT stands for ICD Field Implementation Tool. There is interface for line coding, an interface for main condition coding, interface for patient safety coding, interface for cause of death coding, which is in development, and interface for coding interventions. ICD e-learning course is accessible through the home page of ICD-11, and then WHO Academy ICD-11 courses includes a curriculum, storyboarding, and visual design. These courses are under development, and then there are training materials prepared by WHO FIC collaborating centers and early adopter countries. For maintenance purposes, there are tools. The proposal platform, which includes a release and update history, and also a translation platform. Talking more about ICD-11 tooling environment, we will focus more about ICD-11 browser and ICD-11 coding tool, which is the mostly used tools by the users, end users. Let's start our discussion about ICD-11 browser. ICD-11 browser is an online searchable interface for exploring the 11th revision of ICD. It is designed to help users find definitions, code ranges, and structure of diseases and related health conditions. This is where you access ICD-11 browser. And ICD-11 browser is for seeing the content, for visualizing and navigating the content. As you all can see, there is a search window, and you can type the names of the diseases that you want to search in the search window, and the browser tool allows coder to search courses using text-based terms and identify all possible course categories available. Remember, this is only for the purpose of viewing the content, and I will talk more about the features of ICD-11 browser. There is a user guide for use in the browser. The users will be guided. Then you can use the browser for browsing, searching, for post coordination support, and to display search value sets. And another important feature of browser is it is multilingual, and currently available in 15 languages, and in future there are some more languages to come. How do you access the user guide? If you open the browser, you can open the Info tab and User Guide Info tab, and under Info tab you can access the user guide. Just click on the user guide and then user guide will appear. So this provides you all important information about using the ICD-11 browser. You can use this as a self-learning tool. How do you search browser? The ICD-11 browser is the online application used to browse the ICD-11 mortality and morbidity statistics tabular list. There are three options for searching the ICD-11 browser. Through a quick search that allows the user to navigate quickly. A quick search looks for code titles and begins searching as you type. An advanced search allows the user to search selected properties or a selected subset only. A third option is browsing via hierarchy, that is tabular browsing. This is useful when trying to locate an entity within the hierarchy. However, browsing via hierarchy is not encouraged. The ICD-11 coding tool can also be accessed from the browser. Furthermore, the Special View tab contains several additional useful resources. Let's talk more about quick search. Through a quick search that allows the user to navigate quickly. The quickest way to or fastest way to search a disease or an ICD-11 code. A quick search looks for code titles and begins searching as you type. This is how it works. So if you want to quickly search about neoplasms, you just type neoplasm in the search window and the results will appear. This is how we search for cholecystitis. Entities with cholecystitis will appear as you enter the cholecystitis in the search window. This is how we search for candidiasis. So you can just type candidiasis, any disease name, anything you want to search, you can type in the search window and the results will appear. And I mentioned to you about advanced search. So how do you access advanced search? How do you use advanced search option? As you all can see here, there is a button for advanced search. Just click on this button and the advanced search will start. Advanced search lets you search selected properties of the classification. Provide keywords in the search text field and check the properties. As you open the advanced search button, these properties will appear. For example, for tuberculosis, you can search by index term, you can search by title, you can search by fully specified name, you can search by description, you can search by exclusion, and you can search by coding note. There are 6 different entities to use for advanced search. Advanced search lets you search selected properties of the classification and provide keywords in the search text field and check the properties. I'll show you some examples. Here how we search tuberculosis as index term. So you can see highlighted index term tuberculosis in the results. Index term box is selected. If you modify your advanced search for fully specified name, now you can see the fully specified name of the disease entity is available. Tuberculous meningitis, bacterial meningitis due to Mycobacterium tuberculosis. And it indicates this is the fully specified name. If you need some descriptions, you can search for the description. A short description about tuberculosis, a disease caused by an infection with bacteria of the Mycobacterium tuberculosis complex. This disease presents with symptoms depending on the site of infection. Transmission is commonly by inhalation of infected respiratory secretions. So this is how the coders know more about the diseases they are looking for. They are browsing. The other method is browsing via hierarchy. The third method, which is not the quickest way to search for a disease, but it can be helpful. See the classification hierarchy on the left side of the screen. Clicking on any item will display the details of that entity. Initially, the system only shows the top level items. However, you may make the children visible by clicking on the small triangles on the left side of the items. I hope you remember the parents, children, and siblings I talked about during the last video on structure and taxonomy of ICD-11 classification. Let me show you how browsing via hierarchy is done. So if you click on this triangle, it will open ICD-11 for mortality and morbidity statistics. All chapters will be displayed. If you want to specifically search neoplasms, you can click on the triangle against neoplasms. And if you want to open neoplasms of central nervous system or related structures, you can click on this triangle and it is open now. If you want to open primary neoplasms of brain, you can just click on this triangle and the triangle is open. And then if you want to search for gliomas of brain, you have opened the gliomas of brain by just clicking on the triangle. Talking more about browsing, as I told you before, ICD-11 browser is multilingual. It can be used in 15 languages. Currently, it is available in 15 languages. And another important feature is you can use 2 languages simultaneously for browsing. As you all can see here, I have opened the browser in 2 languages at the same time, English and French. So these are the available languages, and you can see it is open in English and the browser is also available in French. So this is simultaneous browsing in 2 languages. So you can do some comparisons. And you can resize the hierarchy horizontally, and there is a tab here, and by moving this to and fro you can resize the hierarchy. And there's another tab here, so this is for your convenience. You can adjust the size of your viewing window. Here is another example how we search for cholelithiasis unspecified. Cholelithiasis means presence of stones in biliary system, and the ICD-11 code for cholelithiasis unspecified is here, DC11.Z. And don't forget, you cannot use ICD-11 browser for coding. You cannot assign codes by using the browser, but you can view the content. And you can also view the post-coordination options. If there are any manifestations of unspecified cholelithiasis, you can view the manifestations, and also you can view the course of the disease, whether it is acute or chronic. And here you can see the browser values. So if you open has manifestation, if you click on the has manifestation triangle for post coordination, these are the values. Okay, so we discussed about the browser and how to use the browser and different methods of using browser in detail. And let's talk about other available tools. I'm not going to talk about all the tools, but I will talk about some of the tools. ICD Fit, Doris, ICD-11 MCCD app in DHIS2, and ICD API. As I told you before, ICD Fit is a tool used for training and capacity building. So this is ICD-11 coding training and self-evaluation tool, commonly named as ICD Fit, ICD Field Implementation Tool. The purpose of this tool is that ICD user can test their accuracy in coding with ICD-11. You can do a self-evaluation of your coding skills. And also, WHO and member states can check translation and data quality by using this tool. So what are the features? It provides immediate user feedback on their coding performance. It's very enjoyable to use. And we can rank with peers. So you can, for example, the coordinator can visualize the performance of other users, how they have performed, and we can rank the people by performance. And analyzing the results, we have found good to very good ICD-11 coding results with some training. Maybe after a basic training, the users have demonstrated good to very good ICD-11 coding results. In future ICD-11 training courses, whether it is online or in person, you will be able to experience. Maybe some of you all have already have the experience of using ICD Fit platform. Another tool is Digital Open Rule Integrated Cause of Death Selection. The abbreviation, the acronym is DORIS. DORIS is a multilingual software designed for automated underlying cause of death selection. Doris was created to convert ICD mortality coding rules from textual into digital format. All rules have been digitized. It assists in automatically selecting the underlying cause of death following the mortality rules. So it can apply mortality coding rules automatically and select the underlying cause of death. Not only applies the rules, it can code causes of death automatically using ICD-11 coding tool. It employs an advanced algorithm to process and interpret the information. It's a very user-friendly tool. And here you can see the Doris homepage. And Doris is available in two versions. Web version. You can use the web version while you are connected to internet, which is able to code death certificates one by one. And then there is a desktop version that you can download into your personal computer, and you can use the desktop version for batch processing. You can simultaneously code large numbers of death certificates using the desktop version. So we will talk more about Doris in an upcoming training session. Another tool is ICD-11 Medical Certification of Cause of Death application in DHIS2. The countries using DHIS2 can use this MCCD application. So this is an ICD-11 based medical certificate of cause of death form, and you will use the Doris version for coding death certificates. Doris is plugged into DHIS2 platform, and you can do data analysis through integrated Anacod 3. Anacod 3 is a quality assessment software available from WHO. And then data visualization and reporting, and there are customizable forms, workflows, user roles, etc. The other tool I'm going to talk about today is ICD API. ICD-11 Application Programming Interface APIs for easy integration of ICD-11 in any software, which is accessible through this web address. ICD web services, ICD API web services allow other software to access the ICD content. ICD API is an HTTP-based REST API that allows programmatic access for the international classification of diseases. An HTTP-based REST API is a type of web service that allows programs to communicate over the internet using HTTP protocol following REST architectural style. HTTP stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol. It's the foundational protocol used by the World Wide Web, WWW, for transferring data between a client and a server. A REST API is a type of web API that follows the REST architectural style. REST stands for Representational State Transfer. It defines how clients can interact with resources over HTTP in a standardized, scalable way. With ICD API, it is easy to consume, and it is technology independent and can be consumed from any programming language or platform. ICD API currently supports 15 languages. Lastly, talking more about ICD-11 digital infrastructure. There is a toolkit available with ICD-11. Imagine an ICD-11 toolkit designed to be openly shared and relentlessly useful across the global health landscape. It is freely available with no licensing constraints and no fees to hinder access or adoption, inviting every health professional, researcher, and developer to explore and build upon it. Its design emphasizes ease of use and seamless integration. The toolkit is crafted to plug into existing software ecosystems with minimal friction, so it can be deployed in a wide array of settings, from busy hospital information systems to specialized research platforms, without requiring extra tooling or complex workarounds. This makes it a practical core that developers can lean on regardless of the technology stack in use. Multilingual by design, the ICD-11 toolkit speaks the world's languages. It supports diverse users and patient populations, ensuring that language barriers don't stand in the way of accurate coding, meaningful analytics, or clear communication across borders. Looking ahead, the tool is future-proof to enable semantic interoperability. It is built to align with evolving data standards and interoperable data models, so information remains meaningful when shared between systems, regions, or initiatives. In other words, it is prepared to grow with the needs of global health information exchange, not outpace them. Clinically up to date is the standard. The toolkit is maintained through an open, public, and transparent process, so clinicians and developers alike can see what's new, what's changed, and why. This ongoing stewardship ensures that revisions reflect current evidence and practice while preserving trust through visibility and accountability. Governance is grounded in authority and collaboration. It is controlled by member states for member states, aligning with a democratic, locally led approach to stewardship. This arrangement follows the spirit of the World Health Organization's call for nomination of official ICD focal points by member states, ensuring that leadership and oversight come from those who most directly use and are impacted by the system. In sum, this ICD-11 toolkit is an accessible, integrable, multilingual, forward-looking, openly maintained, and state-governed solution. It is designed to empower diverse users to code, analyze, and share health information with clarity, consistency, and confidence today and for the future. This brings us to the end of our video on ICD-11 tooling environment with a special focus on ICD-11 browser. For more information, you can contact this email address. Thank you very much. And we'll see you again with another video on ICD-11 tooling environment. And our next video will be on ICD-11 coding tool. Thank you.